Alright, hey guys, I'm back with another one. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the new Genshin trailer. So I'm going to welcome in teaser, Moonlit Ballad of the Night. And then I'm going to be taking a look at Genshin Impact 6.0 all new Nutcracker character elemental reveal. That's going to be cool. I'm going to react to both of these. And then I'm going to make a second react video on a... Let me pause real quick. It's gonna be a video by Menslave breaking down and analyzing the trailer and making a theory off of it, and that's gonna be cool to watch. So we're gonna take a look at both of those and really see how they go about it and how interesting this new Genshin trailer really is compared to the last one that we had. So I'm gonna start with the main one here. And let's get straight
We
into
might go
it.
hungry.
I'm gonna have
You
to
wish to
restart
hear a
that.
story of the moon? That tale begins long, long ago.
Alright.
Mister! Nefa's starting her story already!
Thanks for the heads up.
Alright. It's our new character. Well, several new characters are gonna show up in this one. I know I'm a bit
The
late
moon's
to
a
it,
long way off.
but
We
that's
might
enough.
go hungry, but at least we have plenty of time.
As for this character, I don't know just yet.
Hey kid, that headpiece of yours is pretty unique. Who designed it? Could you hook me up?
Interesting character designs.
In that era,
The animation's
there
definitely
was no
got a bit better on this one, so they're putting more budget into the trailers than they are the actual game. It's really unfortunate, but it is what it is.
boundary between life and death. Willpower flowed freely among countless beings.
Willpower, they say.
The primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth.
With the story of the 3 Moon sisters back in the day, Genshin. And then after that, we got new characters.
It was not until the funerary year that the primordial voice once again cried out in the darkness.
Even this seems to be Snezhnaya, and they got a giant machine
The
again.
Frost Moon Scions again. A laughably futile rebellion.
Oh, pale white frost moon, I, your loyal emissary and scion of Hyperborea, beseech you to cast down your gaze from the celestial dome above. May your gentle tears pierce the frigid night.
I hope we'll get to see Hyperborea one day, maybe. Well, I'll probably be watching it from the side, because I don't really play at the moment. The only way I'd actually play Genshin again is if they ever added a skip button and fixed the domain issue. I wouldn't even bother with pulling the characters if you can't build them.
And grant us, the forsaken and forgotten, your guiding light.
And there goes the man himself, Varka.
You didn't come here for the story, did you?
Huh. Finished already, huh?
No. It's just
He has the wolf's
a greater
gravestone.
storyteller than myself has come. Now, beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws, taking aim at the stars.
You're right. I came here for the moon.
Yep. We got Varka over here looking like Evan Turing. Had the same color palette too. But he's holding Wolf's gravestone, which is cool. So it might be his signature. Who knows? And that door's gonna be pretty good on him. It really looks like the new region is gonna have a lot of lore drop. Just these two trailers that we got, All the Gods and now the Ballad of the Night, are really heating up the lore in Genshin. Is Genshin saved? No. But are they having better trailers? Yes. If that Genshin anime that Oya was trying to make us forget exists actually ever does happen, it's gonna have a lot of lore. So that's gonna be good if that comes out ever. But until then, it is what it is.
I'm afraid you have the wrong person.
Oh?
Now, be gone.
Okay, that's a cool character. There we go. And here goes our moon maiden here, Columbina.
In the water,
voice.
the future mirrors the past. The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh.
Her power seems to change nature itself, and the moon seems to be crashing into Tevat. There's probably going to be a bit more to that, but I'm not aware of since I don't really play the game at the moment, and I'm not really aware of all the lore bits that are in this video. But I'm definitely liking the new character designs.
Ah, here at last.
And this is
things
Alice.
look even messier than last time.
Recognize her by her voice and parts of the
Miss
design.
Alice, shall we begin?
And Albedo's gonna be back.
There's no rush, and I'd like to catch up with an old friend first.
We didn't disappoint on the design, that's for sure. Pyrovision. Alright, if she actually does become playable, that'll be interesting. It's gonna be from like 6.0 to 6.8, so yeah, we have a long year next year, I guess.
And you, young man?
Let's part ways here.
Too.
I have an old score of my own to settle.
So that's gonna be interesting. Probably another side story for Moonlit as well. But yeah, that's gonna be the 6.0 trailer, Ballad of the Night. Cool trailer that they got there. And now I'm gonna go back and we're gonna take a look at the second video, the Genshin Impact 6.0 All Element Not Cry Character Elemental Reveal here. Alright. First character we see is Pyro. Second character is Electro.
Yeah.
She's Dendro. He's Arrow. Animal. Yeah. Another Dendro character.
過去は水面に未来を映し出す。偽りがほどけ始めている。急いで。月がもうすぐ落ちるよ。
Her element is unknown for the time being, but we can assume it's Hydro.
昔の友達に会いたいわ。
hers obviously tiring.
お兄さんは
But that was pretty obvious. As for this character, most likely a 4-star, possibly.
おじさ
I never miss Siri.
ん、ネフェル姉ちんのお話始まったよ。
ありがとな。
月光の届かぬ地で
Another
王
character
実の
as
影
well.
は
Creo or Geo. I don't know about that.
狩りのような勢いで星々に爪を突き立てる。
また蒼月の子たち
As for
無
her,
意味な反抗を
she doesn't have an element, so we won't know for now. But yeah, those were the two videos I was most interested in reacting to. I know it was a bit shallow of a react, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it was pretty good. I was gonna save another video for another react video after this one, but I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and put them all in the same one because they are pretty much gonna fit in this video, fortunately. That third video, I'm talking about this one from Menslip. She's the Fierce Analyzer, and she breaks down the videos that Hoyo releases. And I'm gonna check out this Fury of hers because it really did sound interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I did pre-watch it before, but I wanted to go over it with you guys because I thought it was rather interesting. I'm just gonna link this video in the description. So yeah, let's get into reacting to this one, which I found more interesting than the actual trailer video itself, to be honest.
Genshin Impact just released the Song of the Welkin Moon teaser, Moonlit Ballad of the Night, so guess who's not sleeping tonight? All of us, I'm pretty sure all of us. We are going to break it down scene by scene because this teaser is rich with lore, ancient history, and foreshadowing for what's to come in the highly anticipated Nod Cry.
Yeah, she's so right about that. Like, there's so much lore that even I'm not aware of some of it. Most of it, she did explain it rather well, so that's why I want to react to her video in mind.
This is my initial analysis, but there's definitely going to be a deeper part 2 video because this teaser is absolutely packed. I actually had an hour-long Nod Cry video that I've been working on for about 2 months now, but I definitely have to add more to it because of this teaser. But before we dive into the scenes themselves, there's some crucial backstory you need to carry with you going into Nod Cry. This is, without exaggeration, one of the most important pieces of ancient Teyvat history we've ever been given, and it'll make what's about to happen in Nod Cry a lot easier to understand. Trust me.
She's pretty much right about all this, and I feel like this really will change Genshin quite a bit. So, story-wise, the game itself is cooked, guys. There's no beating around the bush with that one. The game itself is cooked, but the lore's good. It's just unfortunate the way they do it. So, yeah, it is what it is. Having theorists and people who break down the lore and analyze it is quite convenient.
Long before humans walked Teyvat, it was a world ruled by dragons and the 7 sovereigns. Presiding above them all was the Dragon King Nibelung.
This is a nice mural, by the way. Probably it's somewhere in the new region.
He was the original ruler of the planet. Then came the invasion from beyond. An alien god known to us as the Heavenly Principles descended upon Teyvat. This god defeated the dragons, claimed the entire world, and created humans.
Bro is OP.
From that moment forward, Teyvat began to shift. Dragons were cast aside and the era of humankind began. But the Dragon King Nibelung didn't accept defeat quietly. In an attempt to reclaim his world, he ventured beyond Teyvat and returned with forbidden knowledge from the abyss. With this newfound power, he launched a second war against the Heavenly Principles, what Moonlit refers to as the Great War of Vengeance. At first, Nibelung was depicted in murals as a white dragon, but the corruption of the abyss twisted him into a darker form.
So he left as a white dragon, came back as a black dragon. Unlucky.
The Great War of Vengeance caused massive destruction, nearly bringing the entire world to ruin. Though Nibelung believed the power of the abyss would grant him victory, it ultimately led to his demise and the near extinction of his kin.
Yeah, that was just kind of toxic information, but he brought came back from Twitter. And that was unfortunate.
In the aftermath, the Heavenly Principles cast down the celestial nails to try to repair the world. But these divine devices also devastated the ancient civilizations in Teyvat, even the human civilizations. So remember, there were two great wars in Teyvat's ancient history. The first where the Heavenly Principles conquered the dragons, and the second where Nibelung returned, seeking revenge with the power of the abyss.
Two great wars regarding the original rulers of the world. As for the Archon Wars and all that, that came after, and the Cataclysm and all that.
Now that we've covered that, let's look at one of the earliest lines in the teaser. It was not until the funerary year that the primordial voice once again cried out in the darkness. This is a direct reference to the Before Sun and Moon books found in Enkonomiya, books so dangerous that Otobashi was executed by by order of Celestia just for reading them.
Imagine getting hunted down just for reading a book.
The funerary year chapter describes the very war we just discussed, Nibelung's War of Vengeance and the darkness it ushered in. So this teaser is intentionally anchoring itself in the deepest roots of Genshin's lore. So how do the moons tie into all of this? The three moons of Teyvat are also known as the Three Moon Sisters, Arya, Sonnet, and Canon.
But the craziest part is it took them this long to actually put any relevant lore dumps that were massive enough to actually be worth paying much more attention to, like these current videos. The last trailer and this trailer are pretty lore packed compared to every trailer that's ever come before, which is insane when you consider it's been 5 years.
They were goddesses who also served as Teyvat's moons. Teyvat had 3 moons in the sky in the past. Some refer to them as the iridescent moon, the eternal moon, and the frost moon, but we don't yet know which name matches which sister.
So we know there are frost moons, scions here. So those are probably the ice mages, but I'm not sure which ones they are in the game anymore. At this point, I haven't played it for so long, so I'm not aware of all the mobs. But for those of you who are still playing and are aware of the Frost Moon Science, do actually comment about it in the comment section below. I look forward to reading your comments, by the way.
The teaser states that the primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth. Normally, we'd assume primordial being refers to the heavenly principles, but in this case, it likely refers to Nibelung.
Nibelung making the moons rise. That's pretty cool, actually. Bro was so powerful, he created 3 moons. Insane.
In early murals, he's shown presiding over Teyvat with the 3 moons in front of him. After the Heavenly Principles won the first war, they took control of the moons. But during the second war, the Great War of Vengeance, Nibelung's return, 2 moons were destroyed and only 1 survived. Now let's break down the scenes from the teaser. First, we see Varka, the long-awaited Grandmaster of the
Aventurine's dad, okay. Well, he definitely looks like Aventurine at first when I saw him. I was like, really?
Knights of Favonius, in all his beefy glory, with the wolf's gravestone on his back.
You'd imagine it would be the next time the wolf's gravestone was on banner. Most likely it's gonna rerun with him. Or he's gonna have a different weapon. Which is gonna be unlucky because if he reran with the wolf's gravestone, that'd be kind of an homage to the trailer itself. That'd be cool. But yeah, it is what it is.
If you watch a teaser with subs, what he says is actually more interesting. I came here for the moon, Mondstadt. Yep. This is Genshin Impact, so there are no coincidences. Mondstadt literally translates to Moon City in German. A theory implication here suggests that long before the Archon War, the region that would become Mondstadt was a civilization that worshipped the moons. Theoretically,
sort of like Nodcry at the moment, which he's going to discuss later.
Into power, their worship could have replaced the moons. But in Nodcry, it's said that the power of the moon was used to keep the Abyss at bay, specifically the Wild Hunt, the most terrifying manifestation of the Abyss we've ever seen.
We'll see how terrifying they actually are in the game. Oh, that's going to be funny. Watch them be hella weak.
Mondstadt was originally aligned with the moon, then Varka's journey might be about reclaiming that heritage, to defend his homeland using its oldest power. Varka may have come to Nodcry to learn how to harness the power of the moon so he can protect Mondstadt if Teyvat is plunged into darkness once again. After all, Alice warns us that the borders of Teyvat are weakening. Teyvat is doomed yet again, but this time we'll be here to experience it. Next,
unfortunately, we'll be here to experience it be poorly presented in-game.
We meet Aino, likely the leader of the Clink Clank Crumb Cake craft shop and a genius inventor. She designed Inefa, the first playable character from Nodcry in version 5.8.
So she's definitely also the 5-star, right?
Inefa appears in the teaser alongside Durin and Jehoda. Jehoda remarks the moon's a long way off. We might go hungry, but at least we have plenty of time. This implies that they might be on a journey to find the Frost Moon, possibly the location where we later see Columbina.
True. Is that a moon, man? I'm not sure. No, that can't be it. The moon is huge, but whatever this glowing sphere over here is, probably gonna be hella relevant.
And we finally see Durin.
Durin. The dragon that was supposed to be destroyed under Dragon Spine, you know? So bro is back and has a human body now.
Originally a dragon created by the Hexencircle witch Ander's daughter, Durin was given a humanoid form by Albedo in the Paralogism Archon quest.
So yeah, Albedo helped his brother get a new body. Insane. So he's gonna be playable eventually, which is gonna be cool.
This teaser gives us our first proper look at him in that new form. Based on the 5.8 trailer, we know Inefa leaves Nodcry, which means this teaser is set before the events of the upcoming Archon quest. Now, remember how the power of the moon was used to repel the Wild Hunt? In this teaser, we see that Moonlight becoming a flame and a lantern held by Flynn's, our first character from the Lightkeepers.
Right.
The Lightkeepers were ancient protectors of Nodcry who worked with the Frostmoon Scions to wield the power of the Frostmoon.
But why don't they show only Frostmoon Scions as playable is the real question. They could have at least added one.
Their founder, the Torchforger, struck a deal with the Tsaritsa centuries ago, promising to protect both Snezhnaya and Nodcry in exchange for Nodcry's independence.
That machine is huge. Honestly.
But after the
like, Snezhnaya is the most advanced civilization on Teyvat, only behind Conneria itself.
Cataclysm, the Fatui broke that treaty. They abandoned the Lightkeepers to the Wild Hunt and allowed them to be nearly wiped out.
Whatever this thing is, it's kind of powerful. I don't know how they make all this ultra powerful technology. They could take over all of Teyvat if they wanted to. Well, the Cryo Archon Tsaritsa herself is described as having faulty power by, of course, the Shade of Death. You know, you can't beat death, honestly. It is what it is. But the fact that they can make such machines is impressive.
With the Lightkeepers no longer a threat, the Tore moved in and built his stronghold.
But the Tore being here is going to be an issue.
So yeah, it's pretty clear the Lightkeepers and probably the Frostmoon Scions too aren't exactly fans of the Fatui. Some players managed to translate the glowing text on the tombstone.
How they managed to translate it, I have no idea.
which reads, "In sacred tribute to Chudomir the Arnivalkea." At first I thought this might be the name of one of Flynn's relatives or ancestors, maybe even the legendary torch forger himself. But then I looked up the word Arnivalkea. In Finnish folklore, it refers to a will-o'-the-wisp that dances above a hidden treasure. Does that mean this is the grave of a Seelie?
If that's true, that's gonna be really good for the lore because it ties everything together.
It's possible this could be the resting place of a Seelie companion that...
This does look like a gravestone, honestly. If you think about it, look at the torches around it. It reminds me of one of those gravestones in Inazuma and Surumi Island. That's what this reminds me of. But it was...
fought alongside Flynn's family. Or, hear me out, maybe one of Flynn's ancestors actually fell in love with a Seelie. And that's not unheard of. Historically, when Seelies still existed in their full angelic forms, we know of at least one who fell in love with a human. So, who knows? Maybe this grave marks the legacy of that kind of bond. Then we get a closer look at Sandrone, the
Sandrone, the puppet over here.
Fatui Harbinger. She refers to the Frostmoon Scions as a laughably futile rebellion. It's worth...
Just as the Shade of Death, Renova describes their Saritz's power as poetry as well. So it's kind of people looking down upon others being looked down upon on themselves as well. It's kind of funny.
Worth noting that Sandrone appears to have a mechanical key embedded in her back, suggesting she may completely be a puppet or robot, a literal marionette. She definitely warrants a deep dive video of her own because there's a lot of lore surrounding her that we won't fully unpack here because I want to go to sleep. I have a couple videos about her in the meantime, but I promise I'll do a fuller video on her very soon. Next we see Lauma, a priestess of the Frostmoon Scions. Her people, the Frostmoon Scions, or Moon Children, fled their golden homeland of Hyperborea thousands of years ago.
I guess she is one of those scions, but she's the Scion priestess, so probably an influential figure. And not a cry. We'll see. You guys will see in the actual new region when you guys play the game. I won't, but I'll get to react to this at least, so that's gonna be nice.
And settled on Hisi Island.
It's pretty clear with the Frostmoon people are all elves, I guess. It's gonna be interesting. We're getting more elves in the games. It is nice. Alright.
In Nodcry. In ancient times, one of their priestesses lent her light to the torch forger to build a lighthouse that would protect Nodcry from the wild hunt. In the teaser, we see Lauma perform a blood sacrifice, pleading for the Frostmoon's light to shine on Nodcry once again. And we see her blood glowing with moonlight.
The blue blood.
Then comes Nefer, a storyteller whose name might be a reference to Nefertiti. I honestly thought with her name and appearance...
Interesting. Wonder what they're gonna do next in the game.
she'd be a character from Sumeru, but she's here in Nodcry and she appears to be working with Farka. Nefer...
With Anifa, we saw that they have a ton of emphasis on new reaction types that are going to be happening. First, we start with Anifa and Lunar Charge. There may be other reactions, but I won't say in this react video, because this is mostly react video, but you guys will see it in the upcoming group marketings and previews of future characters. Since I do follow the leaks, I am aware of the new reactions coming. Lunar Charge is only the first of many new reactions that are going to come to the game.
mentions that a greater storyteller than herself has arrived, and that's when we see her, Nicole Rain.
Now, I do remember this character's voice a little bit, but not entirely. But it's nice that we actually get to see more characters.
The enigmatic witch of the Hexen Circle. We've actually heard her before. She was the mysterious voice who appeared during the Sumeru Archon quests and offered...
Which is crazy what she remembered how far back we heard her voice. I mean, that's been ages.
help during Fontaine's story as well. For the longest time, we suspected Nicole might be a Seelie, and now we finally get a soft confirmation. According to the Natlan Archon quest, Seelies are angels. And in this teaser, we see Nicole's wings and halo begin to glow.
It's all the symbolism around her.
Her eyes also shine in the shape
Also the pattern right here. Prima gems.
of true primogems. Personally, I couldn't help but smile. Years ago, I toyed with the theory that the people of Conria might be distant descendants of the Seelies, all because of that one haunting little book, The Pale Princess and the Six Pygmies. So seeing Nicole with true Seelie features and glowing wings and primogem.
So some Seelies did survive. Like her and possibly Columbina.
Eyes kind of feels like a full circle moment. Nicole is a powerful prophetess. She's known among the Hexen Circle as the guide who will never get lost because she always shows up to help those in need. She speaks directly into people's minds without warning and might actually be mute. She once described herself as suffocated by her inability to speak. Even Wolfie references her as the quiet friend of Madame Mage who communicates telepathically. In this teaser, she delivers a chilling prophecy. Beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws, taking aim at the stars.
Which means there's going to be a threat coming from beyond Teyvat soon, and that's going to be interesting. That's probably going to lead into Genshin Impact after the entire Suiza arc is over. So Genshin 2.0 is confirmed.
I think this line could be referencing one of two things. First, it might refer to Nibelung. According to the finale of the Deep Galleries, he was warned of the destruction of his kind and
so his kind was destroyed, somewhat reborn, but is he not dead? So how is he gonna come back?
Tried to lead the dragons to safety towards the stars.
They tried to leave, but were trapped like the travelers.
He oversaw a space elevator project that would carry his people beyond Teyvat. But before they could leave, it's believed the Heavenly Principles attacked and destroyed their efforts. Alternatively, Nicole's words might also be pointing to the Wild Hunt, the monstrous force tied to the Abyss and
these monsters do look interesting. They have interesting designs, like, look at them. Like, this is massively different from any of the mob designs that they've put in games so far.
Likely the main antagonist of Nodcry, a creature or its leader lurking beyond the moonlight's protection, now reaching for the stars. Honestly, the idea of a reborn Nibelung being the leader of the Wild Hunt both terrifies and excites me, but personally, I'm hoping the real leader is someone else. Someone we'll be talking about very soon. We also see Columbina, the third of the Fatui Harbingers, who is now referred to as the Moon Maiden.
So she's probably one of those Frostman scions who joined the Suiza side, possibly. And silly.
We've explored her significance before in our breakdown of the God's Limits teaser, but let me quickly recap it here. The Seelies are almost certainly connected to the Moon Sisters. Think of it like this. When the 3 moons of Teyvat fell, the angelic race of Seelies fell with them. Once divine beings, they were cursed and reduced to the glowing wisp-like creatures we see today. Their downfall mirrored the collapse of the moons themselves. And in the Song of the Welkin Moon web event, we're told that from the ashes of the fallen moons, a new moon will rise. That brings
if that's true, then
us back to Columbina. The upcoming Nodcry patch might be
important, because this moon is incredibly close.
Titled Night of the Still Mist, Rise of the New Moon. The Fatui Harbingers are searching for Columbina, and in this teaser, we see her in a strange, haunting realm beneath a moon that looks like it's on the verge of crashing into Teyvat.
But the real question is why they would be looking for Columbina. Unless they are planning to use her for nefarious purposes, but we'll find out. That's for you guys to find out in the future patches.
The moon just looks uncomfortably close. She stands alone in a mysterious field of flowers, saying that the fall of the moon is nigh. The theory here is that Columbina may be a vessel for a new moon goddess. Her design is full of angelic Seelie-like symbolism after all. If the Seelies were once deeply tied to the power of the moons, then it makes sense that a Seelie, or someone descended from them, could become the incarnation of a new moon goddess, rising to replace the ones lost in the Great War of Vengeance.
So my little theory is going to be that actually I'm going to use, if her theory is partially right, then if the Fatui did manage to create a new moon goddess or whatever, they would use her power to defeat Celestia somehow, in some way. But yeah, that's just a small theory. She's definitely going to be heavily involved in whatever's going on. She's one of the strongest harbingers.
Of course, the Frost Moon is still hanging in the sky for now. But Enefa's story in the 5.8 trailer suggests something much darker. It's heavily implied that the moon, maybe the Frost Moon, was pulled down by some external force. Whether it was the Wild Hunt or the Fatui isn't entirely clear, but
honestly got sucked in too much. Almost forgot I was reacting. But yeah.
Let's think for a sec. That massive Fatui machine we've seen.
But yeah, as I was saying, this is a huge machine. Like, this is kind of a city on its own. It's like a giant spaceship or something. But if this is a gravity machine and it's actually taking down the moon from the sky, that's seriously impressive stuff. And this is the first look at Snezhnaya. That'd also be interesting.
In a Nodcry? What if its purpose was to drag the moon out of the sky?
Yeah, that's very ambitious.
If that's the case, the Frost Moon might already be destroyed by the time we arrive in Nodcry. And with all three moons gone, the conditions would finally be right for a new moon to rise from the ashes of the old. Perhaps.
But if only one moon is there, then I guess it should be fine. There used to be 3, but now there's only 1.
So
Return to destroy the one that's there and then create another one. But however that happens, we'll see.
Plan all along to bring down the final moon and trigger the rebirth of a new moon goddess. And Columbina may be the vessel they've been preparing for that very purpose. And just when you think the teaser has shown its final card, we get one of the most surprising reveals yet. Alice. Yes, the Alice. Mondstadt's most mysterious adventurer, renowned mage, and author of the Teyvat travel guide. She's finally here, and her design does not disappoint. I mean, the hat alone is iconic. Honestly, every single character.
How do you even wear a hat like this? Like, I thought this was all metal or whatever. It's definitely an interesting headpiece.
Character from Nodcry looks stunning, but seeing Alice at last feels like a major lore milestone. Alongside her, we'll also see returning characters like Albedo, Yelan, and Wanderer, each of whom will likely.
As for all Yelana's here, that's questionable. Wanderer is probably, of course, looking for Columbina, probably. But who knows? I mean, I thought last time he cut off his ties with the Fatui, so we'll see what happened with him.
Play an important role in the upcoming Nodcry Archon quests. But the real intrigue lies in the note Alice holds in her hand. On it are 3 names: Aralos, Solnari, and Canon.
How they managed to read this is insane. Like, how? I can't even make out a single letter.
At first glance, the initials clearly match the 3 Moon Sisters, Arya, Sonnet, and Canon. But I don't think it's just a simple nod to their names. Get it? See what I did there? It's 4 a.m., but I think there's much more going on here. The name that immediately stands out is Solnari. That's because Reyrir, Reyhir of Solnari, is one of the 5 sinners of Conria. In other languages, the title translates to Moon Hunter or Avenger of Solnari. We've speculated before that Reyrir might be the leader of the Wild Hunt, the destructive force tied to the Abyss in Nodcry. If Solnari is an alternate name for one of the 3 Moon Sisters, the implications are massive. There's long been the implication that the Moon Sisters turned on one another, and
them turning on each other is kind of odd, but if that is happening, then that would explain a lot.
Only one of the 3 survived. If that's true, then the Avenger of Solnari might be a reference to vengeance against the sister who betrayed or killed Solnari.
What about the one who killed everyone? Just 3 of them? 2 of them were fighting each other and then 1 escaped. It would make the most sense.
That would tie the Sinners, the Wild Hunt, and the Moon mythology together in a more tragic way than we initially expected. But this is Genshin Impact, so I expect a lot of things to be tragic. As for the other names, Canon is a stylized reference to Canon, one of the original 3 moons. But Aralos is more ambiguous. It could be another name for Arya, or maybe an anagram of Solar or Solara. That's significant because in ancient Teyvat lore, the 3 Moon Sisters rode a lunar carriage across the night sky, while a solar chariot traveled the skies during the day. During the Great War of Vengeance, that solar chariot was said to have crash-landed into the chasm, but the people there repaired it and eventually sent it back to the sky.
How to do that? Well, we won't know.
So if Aralos is tied to the solar chariot, then Notcry is really the place where a lot of Genshin's ancient lore will be completely demystified. I hope. So those are my initial thoughts in—
Well, that's the whole theory that she had, which I think sounds pretty interesting. I'll definitely link this in the description if you guys want to check out her channel as well, because I believe this is a pretty good video. And as for the trailers and the elemental reveal, I think that was pretty good. This really does show off all the new playable characters, most likely, considering they all have visions in this trailer, and they're all most likely going to be playable in the near future. And with Anifa being already the first one to release, we just gotta see who's next. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game for me, and that'll be it for this reactive video. It probably is going to turn out a lot longer than I expected. I'm not an editor, so I just upload raws. So we'll see how long this is. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it wasn't that great of a react like my last one, but the last one was special. And this one, it didn't hit the same. The last trailer just hit way harder. But the lore here is nice. So yeah, that'll be it for this video, guys. See you in the next one.